What is up, everybody? Back with a new video here, and since it is the 4th of July, happy 4th to all of my fellow Americans. We are going to be talking about some 80s American metal here. I'm going to give you all my 10 favorite albums from American metal bands that were released in the 80s. That is one stipulation for this list, and the other one is that no extreme metal on here, so no thrash, black, or death metal. It's going to be classic metal. It could be glam, like power metal, just traditional metal, whatever, just from the 80s, no extreme metal. We're going to go through my 10 favorites here. I want to know your 10 favorites in the comments. But number 10, without further ado, I've got Burning Star from Helstar. Great classic metal band, some power metal elements in here, just fist pumping, like beast of songs, very anthemic. They got amazing vocals. James Rivera, super powerful voice. He does kind of like a Dracula shtick where he's kind of acting like a vampire, which I think is interesting, kind of vampiric themed songs and whatnot. And I've seen him twice live at the festival Hell's Heroes over there in Houston. That's where they're from, so they always play the fest. He still sounds amazing. He's like 60 years old or whatever he is now, but back in the day, and he still does today, but he hits some amazing high screams, especially on this album. They got a lot of good stuff, but this first album from them is what I go back to the most. Looking at this track list, Towards the Unknown, the title track to open up the album, he's just hitting just amazing high notes, very powerful voice. Witch's Eye and Possession, a couple other favorites from the album. Just great classic stuff. Check it out if you don't know it. Number 9, I've got another one with some amazing vocals, Love You to Pieces by Lizzy Borden. Just another guy who hits freaking another level high screams. He's got a great voice overall. There's great guitar tone on this album, just great classic metal. There's a song on it called American Metal, so of course it's going to make it. But overall, like Godiva, amazing song. Looking at the rest, Council for the Cauldron to open it up, just fantastic, and love the whole thing. So it's here at number 9. Number 8, got another one with some freaking high, soaring, majestic, amazing vocals. Crimson Glory, self-titled debut from 1986. Now, honestly, this guy's name, his stage name was Midnight. He passed away, so RIP to him. But back in the day, he could hang with anybody when it came to high screams. Just ridiculous, very impressive, powerful voice. Like, especially, you can tell on the song Mayday, he's just going into another level. Insane vocal range, Queen of the Masquerade, Valhalla, a couple other standouts from that album for me. Number 7, now I can start showing some stuff. I've got Riot, Fire Down Under. So this one, a bit of a different style than the couple I've mentioned so far. This one, honestly, kind of like, it's like a US version of the new wave of British heavy metal is kind of what I would compare it to. Sounds very similar to that wave of bands, but Mark Reale on guitar, amazing, very underrated player, RIP to him. And Guy Speranza, singer on their first 3 albums, he passed away as well, so RIP to them both. Love Guy's voice, love Mark's guitar playing, got the record falling out here, but looking at these songs, Swords and Tequila, just an absolute classic. The title track, Fire Down Under, just amazing. Outlaw's great. All these songs are just fantastic. Run for Your Life, another favorite. But I've always loved this album. They got a lot of good stuff, but this one for sure is my favorite. On to number 6. Now this one, you know, I was debating to include it because half the band is from elsewhere, but they're technically an American band. The main guy of the band's American, so we got Holy Diver by Dio. So, of course, Vinny Appice and Ronnie James Dio are from the United States, but you got Jimmy Bain, who is from Scotland, and Vivian Campbell on guitar, who's from Ireland. But, you know, we're counting it. Great musicianship on the album here, and of course Ronnie's voice, one of the best and most powerful of all time. Stand Up and Shout to open it up, just ripper of a song. The title track's great, of course. Looking at these, Shame on the Night's great. Rainbow in the Dark, of course, the bigger hit from the album, but it's still good. Don't Talk to Strangers, Straight Through the Heart, all these songs are fantastic, so definitely could probably be a little bit higher for a lot of people, but for me it's number 6. Great album. Number 5, I'm going to go, it's tough here, but I'm going to go with Operation Mindcrime by Queensrÿche. Another one, just a lot of these, pretty much all these have amazing vocals. Jeff Tate, another guy who could hit high screams with the best of them. This album here, just absolutely fantastic. It's a concept album, cool story, very consistent album, start to finish. Again, this could be higher, but for me, I got it at number 5. Looking at these, Revolution Calling, just amazing, very anthemic, epic song. The title track's great. Speak, Spreading the Disease. You could just list all these songs are fantastic, and then it ends with The Epic Eyes of a Stranger. But have always loved this album, always been one of my favorites. So number 5, favorite American metal album of the 80s. Number 4, got Dokken, Under Lock and Key. Another fantastic one, came out in 1985. I haven't been saying the year for all these, but Queensrÿche was 88. Dio was 83. This one 85 here. It is the 3rd album from Dokken. You know, all their 80s stuff is great, so it's kind of tough, but this one's always been my favorite, so this is what I went with. Unchain the Night to open it up is got a super kind of creepy, dark atmosphere to it when it opens up, and then it kicks into that amazing George Lynch riff. Of course, Don Dokken, the band's named after him, but he's got freaking an amazing voice. Again, I don't know if a lot of people consider him to be a great singer, but he's always been one of my favorites. I've listed him in my top 10 favorite singers before. In My Dreams is a great song. Lightning Strikes Again, one of their heavier, faster songs of all time. Till the Living End, It's Not Love, Don't Lie to Me, all these songs are great. Will the Sun Rise, a cool underrated one, but George Lynch, such an amazing guitar tone. Rest of the guys in the band, fantastic as well, but always been another favorite album of mine. Number 3, this one has jumped up for me, but I've always liked it, but it's really up there at this point. Savatage, Hall of the Mountain King. Talk about some amazing guitar playing again. Chris Oliva, one of the best ever. He was taken way too young, passed away when he was only 30, killed by a drunk driver. Shit pisses me off. But yeah, he was amazing, just majestic, fast. It's almost like Eddie Van Halen on steroids, I would kind of compare it to. Somewhat of a similar style. Great tone, the riffs, the solos are all amazing from Chris. His brother, John Oliva, fantastic, very unique, powerful voice, somewhat like, it's kind of raspy, and he hits some high notes too, and just really cool singer. But 24 Hours Ago to open this up might be my favorite song by them. The title track's great. Beyond the Doors of the Dark, Legions, so many awesome songs here. Just freaking classic, amazing album there from 1987. My number 2, I got W.A.S.P, self-titled debut. Great, great classic heavy metal. Blackie, another guy. I say he's probably like the most unique voice of all time for me, or one of my favorite voices ever, too. I rank him in my top 5 singers at this point. But great, great freaking album here. Looking at this stuff, I Want to Be Somebody's amazing. Love Machine, could just list all the songs. But Piper and Holmes, fantastic guitar duo. Love that tone, big, heavy, thick guitar tone. Tony Richards on drums, it was their only album with him. He does great on it, but probably would say The Torture Never Stops is my favorite W.A.S.P song on this album. I was almost going to say it's my favorite W.A.S.P song ever, but I think Wild Child is still my number 1, but I'd probably say that's my number 2. Overall, amazing album. It's in my top 5, top 10, like ever, and especially here in the 80s. It's my number 2. My number 1, anybody that's seen my videos should probably have seen this one coming. Out of the Cellar by Ratt, the debut from Ratt, full-length debut. They got an EP that came out the year before, but this one, I just absolutely love it. It was the first album I ever got on CD back like 15 years ago. I didn't get to get it when it first came out, unfortunately. I wasn't around, but, you know, I don't know what made me buy it. I guess my dad had been playing some Ratt, and I got a chance to be in a CD store with him, and I saw it and picked it up. So that was the first album I got. It's got a special place in my heart, and it's just an amazing album. Stephen Pearcy got a cool, unique, kind of raspy voice. Warren DeMartini and Robin Crosby, just amazing, amazing guitar tone. Just classic twin guitar metal here. Juan Crocier on the bass and Bobby Blotzer on the drums. Opening it up with Wanted Man, great, great song. A couple other favorites. I'll try not to just list all the songs, but Back for More, I'm Insane, Round and Round, even though it's like big popular song from the album, gets played a lot. The solo and the song is just amazing. Love the guitar solo, one of my favorites ever. But that is my favorite metal album from the 80s, or kind of that's not thrash and all this other stuff. But just classic metal there. That's my number 1. And some honorable mentions. I've got a couple listed down here. The Voice of the Cult by Chastain was the number 1. Honorable mention, was very close to making the list. That one came out in 1988. Got Leatherwolf's self-titled debut, the one from 1987. It's actually not the debut, sorry. But they've got a couple self-titled albums for some reason. But this is the 87 self-titled. It's got The Calling on it, which is amazing. Street Lethal by Racer X. Paul Gilbert, just amazing shredder. The first Skid Row album from '89 made it in my honorable mentions. I got a Cirith Ungol album, King of the Dead. Another one with some really great vocals. Methods of Madness by Obsession. Really great, underrated one. Mike Vescara on vocals here. He later went on to be in Loudness and Yngwie Malmsteen's band. Ample Destruction by Jag Panzer, another great one. And Crystal Logic by Manila Road were what I had for the honorable mentions. But yeah, a lot of great ones that I probably didn't mention, so y'all let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought about my list, and happy 4th of July, and until next time, thank you guys for watching.